Hello, and thank you for joining us. In this presentation, it's about avoiding the content chaos. The focus is going to be how do we maintain standards when we're storing our documents, providing robust searching, as well as consistent security for our documents. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why should I watch this video? Well, here's a couple of questions to help you get to that answer. First one, do you need to create document storage containers, if you will, for each of your new deals and cases and projects and so forth? Is it important to be consistent on how documents are stored? Will ensuring consistent security across deals or cases be important? Is the ability to search for documents based on how you think about these documents important? And will there be a need to change how documents are stored over time? Business change, if you will. If you answered yes to these questions, well, it probably makes sense to watch this video. So let's get started. Here we are in Alfresco Share. Now we've logged in as Adam's Storage, so we're presented with Adam Storage's dashboard. And in Adam's dashboard, he can see the workflows that have been sent to him, activities going on with the various documents in the various sites he's a member of, as well as be able to search for documents in those sites. Now the key for this presentation is talking about triggering the process. How do we get Alfresco ready to accept all of our documents so we can do this deal? So I'm going to click New Email, and up pops an email. And from here, I'm going to address this email. Because remember, what we're doing is we're going to send the documents directly into the repository. So our subject is Alfresco IPO, because in this case, that's the name of the deal. And that's a key piece of data because that's going to drive what the folders are named. The meeting went great. We want to get started on this deal. Let's attach the appropriate documents we want to send in. So I've got my email all set up, and I'll simply send it right into the repository. Once the email gets into the repository, of course, it loads the documents, and you'll get an email notification telling you that those documents were loaded. So here's that email notification. And of course, there's a link right here that takes you straight to the folder that has the documents. So here we are, Alfresco IPO folder. And of course, it validated that name against an external system. That way, only the correct folders are created. Now, what it also did is created these two folders as well as a bunch of subfolders. So this is a template based on the deal that came in. It knows what subfolders need to be created. So it created those subfolders. Now, all the documents that arrived from the email are in our intake folder. That way the appropriate person can drag them into the appropriate folders. So let's take our 5-year projection and we'll drag that into models. We'll take the annual report and we'll put that under the data room information. NDA goes under legal. And of course the pitch book goes under marketing material. Now this is the email, and depending on the situation, that email can be stored in its original form or be converted to a text or PDF file. These other images right here are basically what came along with the email itself. Links to Twitter, YouTube, that kind of stuff. So we'll get rid of those images. Really don't need those. So now the documents are all sitting in the correct location. Now the next piece, of course, is you may have documents that need to be dragged in from your desktop. So here's my desktop right here, and I'm going to take the term sheet and I'm going to drag that right into the repository. Now, as you know, what we've done so far is really just dragged and dropped documents in after an email went in. And that's pretty much the extent of it. But what's happening behind the scenes is when I go to my search dashlet right here from my dashboard, I type in the deal name and I hit search. And you'll notice not only the documents in the appropriate folder, but the metadata is attached for searching. So the document type in this case. So simply by where you put that document, it assigned the appropriate metadata. Because we all know users hate assigning metadata. So it automatically happens by virtue of where the documents are stored. And of course, what's also nice is this quick search dashlet allows you to quickly see all the available documents that came in for that deal, despite what folders they might be in. From our result list here, I can go straight to the document, or I can go off to the folder. In this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a particular document. So we'll go to our NDA. And of course, I get a preview of the document right here, various actions I can take, and of course, the metadata that was assigned, doc type equals legal, down in the right-hand corner. Now, what also was created is if I go back to my Alfresco IPO folder, and I'll click it one more time, it'll show me the metadata available for it. So whatever metadata that came from that other system can be assigned here. And here's just examples of metadata fields. So that information can automatically be assigned, as well as security. So what happened was an Alfresco IPO security policy was also automatically created. The idea behind that is we want to give people the ability to have consistent security, but create a separate security policy for this deal in case we need to alter it, lock it down, if you will, so only certain people are able to see it. So as you can see, what we did simply by sending an email in was go off and build the appropriate folder, get the documents in the appropriate folder, assign the metadata, build the appropriate security, and notify everybody of what went on. And again, as you noticed, simply from sending in an email. Now, one other question that usually comes up is, Adam, that folder structure, how easy is that to maintain? Because let's keep in mind, business changes. Here in our templates site right here, you've got your template folder structure. So users can either create new folders if need be, or they can modify existing folders. So they could change the names and so forth. So a user with the appropriate rights can go off and change that, as well as be able to change the inheritance. So remember, we talked about when a document is dragged into a certain folder, certain metadata is assigned. The user, who of course can control what's in this drop-down list, can also turn around and control what metadata is inherited. So the idea here is you want to make sure that as business changes, new folder structures, new metadata needs to be inherited, it's all managed by the appropriate business user. No coding or development that's required. So what did we see? Well, the ability to maintain standards on how documents are stored, so the creation of the folder structures based on business rules managed by business administrators, keeping that consistency. The ability to automatically file documents. So the business rules were used to decide where the documents go. Remember how they went directly into that deal folder. Security was automatically created for each new deal, and it's able to be modified as needed. Again, business rules driving the creation of those security policies, keeping consistent security, but allowing the flexibility to change as needed. Automatically assigning document properties based on where the documents are stored. Again, business rules assigning properties managed by the business administrators. So as life changes, the system can change as well without getting IT involved and doing a lot of coding. So at the end of the day, let's not forget that what did we do? We sent an email into the system, and that email carried the documents we needed to automatically create the folders, automatically build the security policies, as well as notify everybody that it's time to get started. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and feel free to reach out to us so we can help you like we help our clients.